Detroit Lions fans, Stephen Will here back. Detroit Den 313, ready to talk some Detroit Lions football. But before we get going, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if for some reason, if you haven't, if you just dropping upon us, we got members giveaways. So if you want to be a member to us, you will get the opportunity to win some free stuff. We talk about that stuff enough, Steve. We got some breaking news. Lay it on the people. Let them know what we're talking about.
Trystan, aka Bartolo Colon, signs with the Detroit Lions. If you guys don't know who Bartolo Colon was, then you're just a diehard football fan and you don't know baseball, but it's okay. Trystan Colon signed in with the Detroit Lions today. I'll be honest, I'm not surprised that Brad Holmes went out and made a move. I'm a little surprised at how fast it was. I thought we'd at least get a little closer to camp, but I'm not complaining. Trystan Colon plays a little interior offensive line. Well, what were your initial thoughts?
Depth. Depth was my initial thoughts, and really now I'm no longer worried about Frank Ragnow. We found his replacement. We're going to be absolutely fine. Back to the number one line in the league. Look, even resembles Frank Ragnow to me. I mean, pretty much all the same. If you can snap the ball, you can play center, right? No seriousness, man. I just thought depth. I thought depth. Pride of Detroit already put out a little article on him, man. I'll load it in real quick. We won't read through the whole thing because I don't think it's super crazy pertinent, but there's some good stuff in there as it relates to him. Let me see. Is technology still my thing? It is. All right. So I'm getting better, man. I'm telling you, I'm getting saucy with this technology stuff. So Trystan Colon, man. As it says, in lieu of Frank Ragnow's retirement, we get a guy in here. And here's why I say depth piece. This is a guy who was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, played 3 seasons with the Ravens, but played guard. He played center. He bounced around. In 31 games, had 11 starts. Went over to the Arizona Cardinals. More of the same. Bounced around that offensive line. 51 career games. Has 15 starts. Steve, when I'm looking at that, to me, we're looking at a guy who is historically a depth piece. Drafted out of Missouri. Or came out of Missouri as a undrafted free agent. This is a guy who's under the radar, right? He's not a guy that you're looking to be a starter on your team. He's more of a guy that you're looking to be a depth piece. If you got to put a Band-Aid on something, he's a great guy to have step in and put a Band-Aid on something. He's not a guy looking over the stats from his career, because I'll be honest, I haven't got an opportunity to dig into the film on him yet. But looking at the stats and looking at just the literature on him, he doesn't look like a guy that you want to go into a season planning on starting for your team and leading you throughout the whole season. So this, Steve, to me, is Brad Holmes saying, look, I don't know what I got in Kobe Sorsdahl, Nice, Ngwakin, Tate Ratledge. Obviously, we had some situations go down with Graham Glasgow. I don't want to beat him up too much, but last season wasn't his best season as an NFL athlete or a Detroit Lion. So just another guy as insurance to make sure we're all set here at this offensive line if we get banged up a little bit. That's all this is. It isn't groundbreaking news. It isn't the world all coming to just peace and tranquility and everything being right in the world and our offensive line going back to the number one offensive line in the league. It's just making sure that we have a decent enough offensive line for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to rush for 1,000 yards apiece, 1,500 for Gibbs and probably 1,000 for David Montgomery. What you thinking, Steve?
When I first saw this, the first thing I thought of was insurance, just a backup piece. All right, we talked about it yesterday. We don't have anyone after Graham Glasgow who has taken snaps at center in an NFL game, to my knowledge. I don't think so anyway. When we sign Trystan Colon, the first thing I thought was insurance. This is the exact caliber of player that I thought Brad Holmes was going to go get. All right, this kid's not making an All-Pro. He's not making a Pro Bowl. He's literally only going to see a football field in worst case scenario if someone gets hurt. And I'm not thinking that this is the only move that gets made. I think something will happen in training camp once other teams start cutting people. There's going to be some casualties out there. If we wanted to sit down and dive into 30 other teams' rosters, we could probably have a conversation about a handful of guys who have played center a little bit more. Someone's probably going to get cut that could be a better piece. But for today, this is just a little insurance, just a little warm and fuzzy. Hey, settle things down a little bit. And again, this is I kind of expected this type of player to be signed. I'm a little surprised that it happens 2 days later after Frank Ragnow, but it's not the most shocking thing in the world. But I don't think that we're done. I think that we'll poach someone from a cut list of who gets cut in training camp. And you're right, Will. This isn't a needle mover for me. This is just an average backup. I'm trying to be nice. An average backup is a good compliment. I think. Just come in, be ready to play. I truly believe Graham Glasgow is going to be the center going forward with Frank retiring. And if something happens to Graham, I think that this is a guy who competes for that next guard slash center spot, mainly center. But I think we have the backup guards even pretty much locked down with Frazier, Awasika, Colby Swordsdale. We'll see who's battling, and then I think Trystan might be just locked into center number 2.
Yeah, no, I think you're dead on, man, and I'm excited for it. It gives me that warm and fuzzy. On yesterday's show, I talked about a little bit, just being a little bit uncomfortable with the depth, and even though it was us losing one piece, I just felt like the impact of losing an all-pro starter when you had guys that were ascending up into seeing what they could really be as NFL athletes as the replacement is a little bit different than a journeyman or a guy who had some bad moments as an NFL player or as a Detroit Lion coming into that position, man, is still a young guy. So I like it. I'm not over the moon about it. It was something that needed to happen. You know what I mean? But I feel like it keeps us, it keeps us comfortable. It's not blowing the minds of the NFL. But Steve, I got a question.
Talk to me.
Detroit Lions have made this move, and now we'll probably lump this into a show. But with Frank being gone, there's some extra monies. So, are you thinking maybe, and I won't drop any names because I know we'll probably end up talking about some things. But
go sign Zadarius Smith right now. Yes.
That's where we're at. That's what I mean. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Listen, we got some. Zadarius and the Detroit Lions are having some tough conversations. Hey, man, now you guys got some extra monies. Do you go get Zadarius? You go give him a call. Maybe that mill here or there. That was a debate, man. You're going to pay him now.
Well, if I'm saving, I think what was the number $9 million from Frank retiring now this year. So if I have $9 extra million. I think it would make financial sense to say, hey, I got a little unexpected money. Now I try to put myself in like, hey, what do I do when I get unexpected money? I put it in savings, honestly. But if I'm in the Detroit Lions, it's like, hey, maybe I do a little bit of shopping. I just kind of see what's out there. And Zadarius Smith, number 99, like he wanted 1 million and I just saved 9, like a million extra. I mean, I think I can make that happen. I'm still saving 8 and spending 1. Like, I'm just trying to use an analogy. I'm not saying we're signing Zadarius Smith for $1 million, but if it was $1 million difference, whatever the talks are, yeah, well, I'm making that phone call 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago. Yeah. I hope that Brad was on the phone with Zadarius Smith's agent. And shame on us, we should have mentioned this before that, with Frank retiring, we're saving roughly $20 million over the next 2 seasons. So do we give Zadarius a 2-year deal for a fair amount, whatever he's asking? And, we can still extend our guys later on, the Hutch, the JMOs, not the St. Browns. He's already good. But Sam Laporta's, like those guys can kind of get pushed down the line a little bit. And we got a little bit of money right now to go get Zadarius Smith, be the number 2 pass rusher in this NFL on this team. Well, I would have been on the phone as soon as Frank hung up with Brad Holmes saying that he's retiring. Like, I think I'm dialing Big Z's agent like within 30 seconds of hanging up the phone with Frank Ragnow's agent when he said that he was hanging him up. Like, what are we waiting on here?
Listen, when I saw that the Detroit Lions made a move, I'm not gonna lie, my hope was that it was either Zadarius Smith or Matthew Judon. I was like, hey, listen, Brad got some extra money. Here it is. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the next thing that I'm looking to blow your phone up on FaceTime for.
Zadarius I don't answer Smith the phone anymore when you call. It's only bad news. It's only ever bad news.
Yeah, we got to. We're going to change that when they make a move here in the next few hours, and I'll blow that phone up. But yeah, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for Matthew Judon. I was hoping for Zadarius Smith just getting that call and becoming a Detroit Lion and us kind of solidifying that defensive line because Marcus Davenport has been reportedly looking good. We got some depth, you know, in the interior for sure. We drafted Talik Williams. A lot of people are loving Hassanin already throughout the OTAs, and I know it's only OTAs, pajamas, and pity pat, but there you can see his personality actually hitting the field, which I love. And I just feel like if we add one more piece to that, it's exactly what we need for a guy like Marcus Davenport, who we want to make sure we limit his repetitions. Less shots on goal, less possibility of getting banged up. If we manage him well and he can show up in big moments, I think him opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, and then supplemental reps for Judon or Zadarius Smith. Steve, this defense could be, to me, my opinion, top 5 defense.
I really try not to get excited about OTA stuff because it's literally just the combine with a helmet on. Like there's no contact. There's very, very little contact. Like obviously with some 7-on-7 drills when you got DBs and receivers, contact's inevitable, but you're not supposed to have contact. So I don't really get excited about OTA stuff, but I'm excited to see some of the shape that some of these players are coming in with a year off. And we'll talk about some people later that we've had our eyes on. So I don't know, Will. I'm just thinking like Marcus Davenport, he's been very high on my list. He's my biggest X factor. I don't want to spill too much for what we have planned, but if we could just have another wave of pass rushers and Zadarius Smith is leading that charge on that second wave, or maybe even some first wave from time to time, 3rd and 7, is there some type of formation or personnel we can put out there with Hutch, Davenport, and Zadarius Smith? Well, good luck. And what concerns me is we've been talking for years about how we never worry about the Detroit Lions offense. I think that going into this season with the retirement of Frank, the new offensive coordinator, losing Ben Johnson, we have questions, and I'm not worried about it. I think those questions will be answered. We'll still have a top 5 offense in the NFL, but I think if we get a top 5 defense, and I've said it for I think as long as we've been podcasting, like this team's going to be unstoppable. Does Zadarius Smith make us a top 5 defense? I think he's knocking on the door to at least help you out in the conversation. With Aiden Hutchinson coming back, all the reports out of OTA saying that he looks good. He looks like the old Hutch. His pass rush is still there. His speed, his burst, everything doesn't look like he missed a step. I saw someone tweet out that's an insider from the team that was at the practices saying you wouldn't even know that Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg back in October. He looks that damn good. So I try not to get excited, but when I hear shit like that, Will, I get a little excited. I get a little excited down low.
Steve, we say it here all the time. Good journalists ask good questions.
Bricked up?
Yeah, not yet. If that happens though, I might be. Super Bowl on the line. Got a 3rd and long. We're on defense. I need to know which 2 guys you're going to put out there on the edges, because I feel like there's a question. If you sign Zadarius Smith, is it going to be Aiden and Davenport, or do you just go Hassanin and Zadarius? I mean, because I don't know. That might be the better option. What are we talking about? I mean, I know it's a nail biter. What are we doing?
The real option is maybe all 4. It's possible. It's possible to have all 4 out there, but you're kind of saying Lee McNeil's out there. So if it's the final drive and the Detroit Lions are up 4 and the Baltimore Ravens have the ball and they have to pass, I want Aiden Hutchinson. I want Lee McNeil. I want Marcus Davenport playing that other defensive tackle because he's an absolute monster. I know it's outside of the box, but I've said it before. I think that it's something that can be done, and I want Zadarius Smith at the other edge. Thoughts and prayers. I'm sending my 4 best pass rushers because if I know you're passing and I know I'm just using Lamar as the situation, he's a mobile quarterback. We've already got our hands full there, but if we can collapse a pocket on him fast enough, those are the guys I want, Will. I want Marcus Davenport playing a little D tackle this season. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's unheard of. He's like 6'6", 300 some pounds. Like he's got all the physical traits. Let's get him a couple reps just for this one scenario. It might be crazy. Most people will probably call me an idiot, but I've been talking about this for months as a possibility.
Steve.
Bricked up.
You get on my last nerves. Here's why. So I go into this idiot scenario, right? Just so I can get you to clown a little bit. And then I was actually going to say, I swear to you, I'm going to say, listen, all joking aside, I could see a world to where, hey, maybe you bump Hassanin down inside. Because to me, in a situation where it's 3rd and 15, I love Aleem McNeil. I love Talik Williams already, even though I haven't seen him on an NFL field yet. Levi Onwuzurike, you guys know how I feel about him. But I've seen Za'Darius play inside. I've seen him at 3 technique. I've seen it. I've seen it in games. I don't mind him going in there. I got a sneaky suspicion that I won't mind Hassanin going in there in that type of a situation as a defensive tackle that's trying to get a rush on guards and centers. I got a feeling I might not have a problem with that. And if not, okay, maybe I just stick with a Levi Onwuzurike down in there. But it wouldn't be our normal defensive tackles in there. And then it's Davenport outside, and then it's Aiden Hutchinson outside. So maybe I get all 4 of those type of guys out there on the field was exactly what I was going to say, Steve. So you took my sauce, man, and I'm not too happy about it, but well done.
I drove by your house today. You're lucky I didn't swing by and steal anything out of your office because I was up near that way. So I thought about it, but I knew you were off work today. I was like, I might swing by Will's house and steal his microphone, make sure he can't talk today. I know one of those kids will let me in. Hey, I know that little one. I know little Will. He could be lured with ice cream. Man, knock on the door. Hey, man, let me in your dad's office. I'll take you to go get ice cream. Bring it back. No one will ever know. Like it was a play that I was ready for. Of just stealing from you. So yeah, I don't know. It's exciting. Again, Trystan Colon. Talk of the day, I guess. It's not the most exciting news, but for me, honestly, it gives me just a little peace of mind to know that we have another guy on this team that can actually play center behind Graham Glasgow, that has actually taken center snaps for a team like the Ravens. It's always had a really good offensive line. To be the center for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who always have a strong offensive line, says a little something. It gives me a little peace of mind and a little comfort. So hopped on here today, had to talk about it real quick. Shout out to our we don't have any new members, but think about upgrading those memberships, because maybe later tonight we're going to be doing a basic den membership with a gift card. And we're stocked up on some inventory for some memorabilia and some more jerseys, and those are going to start popping up. So it would benefit you now if you're on the fence about upgrading to do so. And Ed Perva and David Fry, your items shipped out today. Sorry for the delay. Paid a little extra to have those shipped priority. Should be within 2 days. You should be getting your helmet and your jersey from your raffle that you won last week. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.